You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to the Sunday morning simulcast with Rom Wills. The key to life is relationships. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people, when they talk about relationships, usually talk about, male-female relationships. But everything is a relationship. Every interaction with a person is a relationship, even if it's very brief. Anything beyond just saying hi to a person is a relationship. When you go into a store and you talk with that person longer than a minute, that's a relationship, because you're relating to that person. If you're talking about the weather, like people like saying, oh yeah, this great weather, you're relating and you're making a connection. Even if it's for that brief transaction, that's a relationship. In fact, one of my mentors, they said that's why Asians will bow to each other before starting a conversation, because they realize it's a relationship. And what's the key to life? Everything you do, even within this age of automation, you still got to deal with people. If you want a job, you have to typically interview with somebody. You can fill out all the paperwork, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how a person feels you. Now, there's a law enforcement agency. I'm not going to put this out there. It's a federal law enforcement agency. And I was told by one of his agents that when they do panel interviews, a lot of it don't have to do like whether they let you go through or anything, pass you along, has very little to do with your actual credentials. You had good credentials just to get there. Usually it come down to how they feel about you. And that's a fair. I ain't gonna call the agency's name out. I don't need them coming after me, or it could cause a scandal. In fact, but and that's really the case on any. That's the case I would say that's the case in any interview, anything. A lot of it just come down, like you already qualified to do the job. Think about it. You already qualified to do the job when you get there, or they wouldn't have called you to begin with. When people call you in for the interview, you already got the credentials. They can see that on your resume. The key is how they feel around you. That's a relationship. If you're a business person, and you have clients or you selling stuff, that's a relationship. How do you relate to them? Now, one of my 1,000,001 jobs was doing sales and actually receiving sales training, and obviously observing salesmen in gym sales, retail sales, or even just doing vending. Generally, the better relationship you have as a seller with the customer, the better things went. Now, they might not be that interested in what you're selling, but they actually get more interested or find a use for it if they have a good relationship, if they talk with you. Like a very good salesman would never just say, hey, this is it, buy this. Not a good one. A good one started talking about something else. Like I remember a salesman was working retail, said, he was talking with somebody, they were talking about fishing and everything. All of a sudden, the salesman, he racked up a huge commission. He was able to sell a gentleman a whole lot of product, I'll put it that way. But that was the relationship, how you relating, even though brief, how you relating in that moment. A good server at a restaurant, like there's a restaurant I go to. There's a restaurant I go to, and as soon as I walk in, the server already knows I take 2 of a certain type of drink. As soon as I come in, as soon as I walk in, as soon as he see me, here you go. Before I even order it, he knows I'm gonna drink this. But that's a good relationship. And, or even just dealing in everyday life. The person who has good relationships with their neighbors or people in the neighborhood, at the stores they go to, they get a lot of extra. They get a lot of stuff done. Like one of the things I do personally, whenever I interact with somebody, I see them a while, it's like, hey, have a great day or something like that, because it's the relationship. A lot of times people are cold and sterile. But understand something. These people might say, I don't need to have all that, I can just do whatever. Okay, yeah, you can, but I'm saying the key to really succeeding, I say the key to life, but really succeeding in life, you got to deal with other people. If it's a job, you got to deal with them. If you mind stuff, you have to deal with that other person. I think one of the greatest gifts that people could use is just being polite out here. And I remember a young lady said that to me years ago, decades ago. She said, a big problem with people out here, they rude. Just doing something nice, sometimes, it could be just letting somebody cut in front of you while you driving. They look over, say something, indicate, get your attention. You just say, oh yeah, go for it. But that makes it easier, because that's the thing. Because we're all connected. All people are connected. People don't realize that. They don't get that. And they think people think they're an island, but their effect, every time they encounter somebody, even on a small basis, they're affecting that person. Now, that's deep to the point. You could have one person, say you had one person who was nice and kind to maybe 5 people in a day. Like, just made their day, made them smile. But then those people go back and they make other people smile. They make them feel good. And then so on and so on. All of a sudden you have a whole community of people feeling good. And it's a powerful thing. It's a powerful thing. Because you get some people who go through life and they can't figure it out. They just funky with everybody, and they can't figure it out. It's like nobody likes them. Nobody wants to deal with them. And I've seen that on jobs, organizations, everything. It's just something funky about them, and people are like, I don't want to deal with this. So how you relate, and like I said, it goes way beyond male, female. That's just one aspect of a relationship. You having a relationship with your family and everything else. Yeah. So anyway, that's all I got for today. Y'all have a great Sunday morning. Peace and many blessings.